dear students. Welcome back to our English class. I hope you all are taking good care of your health. Children, today we are going to study lesson number 2, Little N in London. In this chapter, we are going to know about a little girl Anne who was walking along with her mother and also learned a lesson. Now, I am going to read the chapter. Little Anne was a small child, the same age as you are. One day, she was walking along with her mother in London city. Underline the words walking and along. They had to pass through Cavendish Square to reach their house. It was a place with beautiful big houses where the rich, the famous, the princes and the dukes lived. Underline the word through, famous, dukes. Famous means well known and dukes means noblemen. When they passed by the house of one such famous person, a beautiful chariot came and stopped in front of the house. The horses in front of the carriage looked healthy and well fed. Students, underline the words chariot, stopped and carriage. Chariot means a carriage drawn by horses. Well fed means got enough food, good food to eat. Yes, the chariot had bright pictures painted on its sides. The seats inside were soft, cushioned, and covered with silk. The footmen wore silver and green colored uniforms. Even as Anne looked on, a few ladies came out of the house. These ladies were dressed in fine clothes made of silk. Their jewels sparkled when they moved. They wore hats decorated with colorful feathers. Underline the words bright, pictures, cushioned, colored, sparkled, jewels, decorated and feathers. Yes, students, sparkled means glowed brightly. Decorated means made more attractive. Okay? Yes. Anne was a little girl who was walking along with her mother. They had to cross Cavendish Square to reach their house. Cavendish Square was the place where rich and famous people of London lived. There they saw a chariot. The chariot was drawn by horses. The horses were also well fed. The chariot was very colorful. The male helpers who drove the chariot wore silver and green colored uniforms. Few ladies came out of the house. These ladies were rich and dressed in silk clothes. Their jewels were sparkling. They also wore decorated hats. Now I am going to read the next paragraph. Suddenly, Anne started crying. Why are you crying? Do you see that chariot? It is so gorgeously decorated. The ladies are wearing such nice clothes. Even the horses seem to get good food. Yes, I see all that, but why does that make you cry, my dear? Mother, you told me that God is kind to good people, but it cannot be true. If it is true, then we too must have a chariot like that. Look over there, and what do you see near the chariot door? Yes, students, underline the word gorgeously. Gorgeously means beautifully. When the few ladies came out of the house, after seeing the ladies, Anne started crying. Her mother asked her why she was crying. Anne said that why they didn't have a chariot. Anne looked at the woman standing near the chariot. Her feet were bleeding as she had no shoes on them. Her clothes were badly torn as she could not afford to fix them. She was weak and thin because she was too poor to buy food or to go to the doctor. Her hands were shaking when she asked the ladies for money. Anne and her mother could hear her words as she begged for money. Anne and her mother saw a woman standing near the chariot. Okay, now underline the words bleeding. Bleeding means having blood flow. Okay, next word shaking. Shaking means to move from side to side or up and down quickly. Next word is begged. Begged means to ask somebody for something. The condition of the woman was not good. Her feet were bleeding because she had no shoes. She was weak and thin because she was too poor to buy food. She asked the ladies for money. My parents died a long time ago. I am all alone now and live in a dirty little hut. I sleep on a mat thin as paper. I am ill, but I have no money to go to a doctor. I am too weak to work. Please show pity on a poor woman. Underline the word alone. Pity. Pity means sympathy. Means to feel sadness for somebody who is in trouble. The poor lady asked the rich ladies for money. She said that her parents had died a long time ago and she was alone and lived in a dirty little hut. She slept on a mat as thin as paper. She was ill. She had no money to go to a doctor. She was too weak. She asked them for money. Okay. Now I'm going to read the next paragraph. Just then a footman came and asked the ladies where they wanted to go. Soon the chariot left. The poor woman began walking towards other people on the street and asking them for help. Then a footman came and asked the rich ladies where they wanted to go. When the chariot left, the poor woman began walking towards the other people in the Cavendish Square and asking them for help. See the poor woman, she has no one to take care of her. We should be thankful to God. He has given us a loving home, warm food, clean clothes, and true friends. Chariots and fine clothes do not bring true joy. We get true joy by being good and by sharing with others. So, you should try to be a good girl, and God will take care of your needs. After seeing the poor woman, Anne's mother told her that the poor woman had no one to take care of her. But we should always be thankful to God because He has given us so many things: a loving home, good food, clean clothes, and true friends. Chariots and fine clothes do not bring true joy. We get true joy by sharing things with others. We should try to be good, and God will give us everything. After listening, her mother, Anne wiped her tears and thanked God for everything that they had. As they continued to walk, Anne held her mother's hand and skipped along. Underline the word wiped. Wiped means cleaned. Next word is skipped. Skipped means jumped. Yes, students, what do you learn from the story? Yes, being thankful and expressing our gratitude is an important part of being happy in life. God has given us so many things, so we should always be thankful to God. I hope you all enjoyed the story. We will meet in next class. Till then, stay home, stay safe.